We're live. We're live. Welcome back to the West Coast Draft Podcast, the first NFL review episode of the year, which we'll get into how week one went.
High
Only
energy
two-thirds of our
start.
teams won. Yeah, I know, right? Very, very, very high energy
Sleepy
start.
Beau Gleason.
Before we hop into the games, we're gonna talk about all the games. We are gonna start with one particular game, but before we hop into all the games, Rob, how you doing? Daniel, how you doing?
I enjoyed the great football that we saw tonight on the college side, not so much the pro side.
Right, right. We'll talk about
GJ
two.
Kinney will be Texas Tech's head coach this time next year.
Wouldn't even be too much of a surprise. Yeah, we'll see what goes on
He
with this
can he
two.
can dial it up. And for
Yeah.
those veer and shoot guys, they always have trouble on defense. Not them. Not them. They figured it out pretty well.
Mhm. Daniel, how are you doing?
Pretty good, man. Can't complain. Saw a little bit of the Bills Dolphins game. That was interesting. We'll probably talk more about that as we go on. But besides that, relaxing night.
Yeah, there you go. There
Wait,
you
what was
go.
Rob doing? He was
I
like
was
throwing his arms up.
The fencing post.
Oh,
Twice now. You see that with a player once and it freaks you out. You see it with a player twice and you're like, how are
I
you
wonder if
still
they're gonna be
playing
watching
ball?
McGruber on the flight back tonight.
jeez.
One detail
Watch this, man.
One detail I did learn today
God.
on a Mike Morris interview, friend of the pod, Mike Morris. Uh, Mike McDonald's a big fan of Austin Powers and talks about it a lot. It's one of several times he's been called a nerd by players. I remember when he got hired and they were interviewing Ravens players at the Pro Bowl. And I forget if it was Patrick Queen, Roquan Smith, or Kyle Hamilton, but one of them called him a nerd. It's like, what's Mike McDonald like? Like, oh, he's a nerd, man. The nerds have taken over football. They're on
Yeah.
the rise.
Rob, when are you gonna coach?
I think I sadly missed the boat on that.
Damn.
It's never too late, my friend. It's never too late. Never too late.
I'm going Mike
Um,
Leach route.
go the Mike Lee Trout, exactly.
Iowa Wesleyan, here we come.
Hey, when did Deion Sanders start coaching? Now, granted, he had the
That's a little different.
I
it's a
wish
little
I had the athletic ability of one of the greatest athletes of all time.
you do in your heart.
Hey, that's all you need, man. This is
That's
a
all you
Disney
need.
movie, guys.
That's
Hell
all you
yeah.
need is heart
The
and
Disney movie called Jokin'. The story of how the best linebacker in NFL history came to be. Wait, were
I
you a
did
linebacker or were you a lineman?
I was a lineman. I played defensive end.
How the best defensive end in
I
NFL history
played I played
came
the
to
Michael
be.
Bennett rule at my
there
school.
you
I
go.
played that Michael
That's
Bennett
all you
rule.
need, man. That's all you need. Some
Five
Michael
tech
Bennett.
end
Five
on
tech. Let's
early
go.
down and then reduced on those passing downs. Played some three tech.
There you go. Well, hey, it's not all bad news in the NFL. We'll get to the Browns Cowboys game later.
The
But I know the first
floor is
game.
yours.
The
Floor
first
is yours.
game is Ravens Chiefs, and we'll get to that eventually. But I promised a Bengals Patriots rant. Now, granted, if you'd given me this microphone on Sunday afternoon, it would have been
Oh,
spicy. You did not give me this microphone on Sunday afternoon, however. I'm getting on
should have
Thursday
recorded
night.
it short.
I should record a short. Oh, that would have been a good idea. Hindsight and all that. Anyways, Bengals Patriots game. Dear God. Um, I felt like I felt like I was being recorded for the hit MTV series Punked. I thought I was or Impractical Jokers if you're more of
Hey, you can watch
true
college
TV
football and
fan.
watch. You can watch the Impractical Jokers simulcam
Yeah,
Manning
exactly.
cast.
Yeah, we need Impractical Jokers Manning cast. Yeah, I felt like I was being punked for the entirety of that game. I have no idea what that offensive game plan was. I don't think, in hindsight, looking back at it, I don't think it was all Zach Taylor's fault. I think Joe is doing his typical weeks 1 and 2 captain check down routine. No, the it's not the wrist. I think the wrist is fine. I think he just has happy feet right now. And he admitted as much in his press conference yesterday. I think the wrist is fine. I think the wrist is fine. He didn't even pick up the water bottle. Weird. People made such a big deal out of it. He picked up the water bottle fine. Um, he was doing a little bit of a captain check down routine. And I don't think it's from a physical limitation standpoint. I think it's from a mental thing. He always takes a while to get going. So I gave Zach a hard time on Sunday afternoon, and I do think he called a poor game. I also don't necessarily think it's entirely his fault. Defensively, dear God, softest fucking tissue paper ass tackling I've ever seen. Only player on that entire defense that could tackle worth a damn was Logan Wilson, the Cowboy. We love the Cowboy. He's great. Jermaine Pratt, soft. Cam Taylor-Britt, soft. Dax Hill, soft. Geno Stone, soft. The entire defensive line, soft. How you gonna let the Patriots practice squad freaking offensive line push you 3 yards downhill on every single run? They're gonna have 180 yards on the ground to the motherfucking Patriots. You serious? You serious? Defense soft. Still only gave up 16 points. So I can't get too hard on that side of the ball, but they just look soft. It was pathetic. Offensive line wasn't terrible. Orlando Brown actually had his best game as a Bengal. He actually looked pretty good. Cordell Wilson, solid game. Ted Karras. This is a Ted Karras fan podcast. He looked good out there. Kappa, not great. Trent Brown, is he doing his New England sleeper agent thing that he did in Las Vegas? Because he looked horrible. Luckily, they got Amarius Mims waiting in the wing, so I don't think they'll have to be stuck with him the way Vegas was stuck with him. But point aside, fucking soft, man. Receivers couldn't get open except for Chase, but they only targeted him 6 times. Hey, 6 catches on 6 targets. That's a pretty good rate. Maybe we should go back to this guy. He's only the freaking third best receiver in the entire NFL, right? Why would we keep targeting him? T. Higgins. I'm just kidding. He's not soft. He's hurt. But hey, you want to know? And there's a lot of people saying like, oh, he's faking the injury and stuff. He's not faking the injury. It's a real injury. Why do you think we didn't pay you? Because you freaking hurt your hamstring on a Thursday practice again, just like you did last year, and you missed 3 games. Soft. Honestly, seems to feel soft. I don't think they're bad. I think they're soft, and that's worse. However, there's one man. One man. Oh, wait. Let me talk about turnovers real fast. I almost forgot. Before we get into the positives, Tanner Hudson, cut your ass. Pathetic. Fumbling on the 1 yard line. Have you never heard of high and tight? Are you serious? Disgusting. Horrible. Very disappointing. Literally, I mean, it's hard to say, transitive property. You never know exactly what would have happened the rest of the game. But hey, they lost by 6 points, and they left 7 points on the 1 yard line on a fumble. That was a walk-in touchdown if you're high and tight. But say la vie. Also, Charlie Jones. We literally only have you on the team to return punts at this point. How are you going to fumble on your own 20-yard line? Soft. They call themselves team. They'll be fine. Honestly, I'm actually not really concerned for the Bengals long term this fall. I just am never gonna watch a week 1 game again. They suck in week 1. But getting into the positives, because there is one. I know it doesn't sound like
I
there's a
think I
lot.
know
There
who
is
it
one.
is.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite Mormon, Ryan Rehkow. We love this guy, man. What a legend. What a
Boomer.
legend. Best punter in the 1 game, and he's already the best punter in the league. I think that's a safe assumption to make. Gosh, man, when look at where he's punting this ball from. You can't really tell, but he's punting this from basically his own 6 yard line.
Yeah.
That shit went out of bounds at the negative half-yard line on the other side of the field. It was a yard and a half away from maybe being a top 5 punt in NFL history. This isn't his first game. I love you, Ryan Rehkow. You were the only thing from Sunday that made me happy. I really hope we don't have to see you very much on Sunday, this coming Sunday. But if we do, I know you're going to do your job because you're a legend, and I can't wait until your Hall of Fame speech. There's my Bengals rant. It's over now.
Uh,
I'd end on a high note.
Match Quarters, Cody Alexander was on a Seahawks podcast I like a lot today, and he was talking about the Patriots Bengals game a little bit. And he says, because of the loss of that interior guy on the Bengals, I'm blanking on his name. That one, DJ Reader,
Yeah, Reader. Yeah.
going to the Lions. That the Patriots just kind of spammed inside zone all game because they didn't have a defender in the middle that could take care of that.
McKinley Jackson, please get back soon, man. We need you. Chris Jenkins, too, honestly. We missed both of our. JT Bailey actually had a pretty good game, though, as a kind of in the nose tackle role. So maybe we got something there. But yeah, I know Daniel had a take on this game.
Yeah, and my general take was just going to be on we got to ask a question of how these teams prepare before the season even starts in the first place. Because here's the thing. Here's my take on the Cincinnati Bengals as a whole the last few years. I think they've got a great team. They're the one AFC team besides the Chiefs that on their day, they can beat Kansas City in the playoffs. They've proven they can get to a Super Bowl. They've proven that Joe Burrow can be elite, that Jamar Chase can be an elite weapon, that the defense can play when they need to play. See, because unlike the Bills and the Ravens, even on their team's day, they still don't do anything. They haven't proven shit. Cincinnati's actually proven something, which is why when they have games like this, it's a little more dumbfounding for me. And it begs the question of preparation because Zach Taylor's done this every single season. Joe Burrow or not, every week 1, week 2, week 3, his team comes out sluggish. His team comes out like they're going to tank for a bottom 5 pick. And then out of nowhere, October comes around and all of a sudden they're contending. They're going on winning streaks. But then you have a team at the end of the year that's better than 10-7, but finishes 10-7 and records around there because of their slow start. And it screws them out of a good position. So instead of playing the Chiefs when they need to play them, now they likely get a team like that in the beginning of the playoffs or round 2.
Right. Yep,
and they screw themselves out of a golden opportunity to get back to the Super Bowl. But instead we get a matchup with like Baltimore or Buffalo, and we know those teams aren't going to do jack shit. No matter how well they play and how consistent they are in regular season, the Bengals are the only team in that conference that have proven on their day they can beat the Chiefs. But they have such a difficult time giving themselves that chance. And here's the thing, too. I know I predicted the Pats to win this game. I still don't think they're a good team. I never said they were a good team. They looked like it was harder for them to play football. They were only getting going a little bit in the running game. Ramondre Stevenson had himself a game. Bro, they're passing. Anytime they tried any kind of passing play, they look soft, bro. They look fucking terrible.
They look terrible. Brissett's not it. And I'll say, to your point, Daniel, and I don't mean to cut you off, but literally we have seen exactly what you said play out in 2022. The Bengals started 0-2. They then went on to win 12 of their next 14, finished 12-4. The Bills game was weird because of Damar Hamlin, but c'est la vie. They end up, because they started so slow that year, they end up having to go on the road to Buffalo, which they win, but then also having to go on the road to Kansas City. If that AFC Championship game is in Cincinnati instead of in Kansas City, there's a good chance they have a ring by now. It's a very good chance they have a ring by now. But slow start means that you don't get the 1 seed, you don't get home field advantage. You have to go on the road to Kansas City, and to their credit, they're the only team that's won in Kansas City in the playoffs, but you can't hang your hat on the fact that you're going to do it every time because they haven't done it every time. They lost their 2022 AFC Championship, and they lost their last year without Joe Burrow, but side point. But to Daniel's point, absolutely. And I think that's the biggest concern with Bengals fans right now. I don't think there's many rational Bengals fans that think, oh, the sky's falling. We're not going to make the playoffs. We're just going to be a really crappy team this year. I don't think any of them think that. But we are thinking exactly what you said in the sense that, like, okay, wow, we had a last place schedule and we just burned one of those games on playing like dog shit in a big spot.
Yeah. And I mean, just to kind of close that point, like I said, the Patriots, it looked like it was harder for them to play football. They're still competing for the number 1 pick. They're not a good team. the only thing to really take away from here is honestly, I know you and I were talking about this a little bit too, Beau. If I'm a Bengals fan, I'm Zach Taylor out, man. I want a coach to prep his team better in the offseason, to give his starters some reps, to better condition Joe Burrow. And I want my coach too to hold some of these star players accountable. I've been hearing too
Mhm.
about the whole Jamar Chase contract situation. That's also partly on management as well. That shit needs to get sorted out during the offseason
Mhm. Yep.
before training camp. That's when you need to sort out that contract. I look at an organization like my team, the Lions. Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown got signed right before the summer started. They got good contracts. They're ready to go for training camp. Jamar Chase, on the other hand, what the hell's your management doing, bro?
Mhm.
It's not even just
Mhm.
coaching, man. Your team, and I say this because I do like the Bengals a lot, and I like Joe Burrow. I think there's a really good potential on that team, but your management keeps shooting itself in the foot, man, and it's doing a disservice to the players and by extension to the fans because these fans expect a good product. You have good players, you should expect a good product.
Mhm.
You only get a good
Yep.
product maybe 50% of the time when you should be
Yep.
getting it at least 80 or 90%.
No team is softer on their players in the preseason than the Bengals. Their starters, I should say. The Bengals do not play start. They played their starters one series in the entire preseason.
I don't know. I don't
Um,
think McVay ever plays starters though.
McVay's done that a little bit more recently, though.
Okay.
Yeah, Taylor learned from McVay not to do that, and then McVay got away from that, but Taylor's still doing it.
Maybe that's why
Um,
they start off so sluggish.
Exactly, exactly. If the fact that, and we see this year in and year out, that Joe Burrow starts the year slow, and to his credit, despite the fact that he starts the year slow, 2 of the past 3 years, he still ends up in the MVP conversation by week 8 and week 9 because he's an elite quarterback. Let me make that clear. Um, maybe, just maybe, get some game reps in for those 3 weeks that we call preseason, so he doesn't come out with happy feet in week 3, or sorry, in week 1 of the regular season. That's just me though.
You know, another thing that Cody Alexander mentioned on that podcast was the Bengals rely a little bit too much on hero ball. They use the least motion in the some of the least motion in the league, and this is a motion league now. They rely a little too much on hero ball.
Oh yeah, they love their hero ball. They say the scheme they run, and I listened to a podcast on this. The scheme they run offensively is almost entirely dependent on elite quarterback play. Now, have they gotten that? Yes. Are they capable of getting that? Yes, absolutely they are. But when Burrow is an off day where maybe he's got some happy feet, maybe he's not going through all his progressions, maybe he's just not used to having an offensive line that's actually pretty solid now. They actually had a pretty good day pass blocking, and run blocking. They average almost 5 yards a carry. Um, he's not used to that yet, I guess. But point being, when he's not going through his reads, when he's checking down too early, when he's being captain checked down like he tends to sometimes when he's kind of in his head, um, that's when you get games like this where they score 10 points. Also, I will say, because we don't want to make this just about the Bengals. Credit where credit's due, I actually think the Patriots are gonna have a good defense this year. Offensively, they're gonna be dog shit.
Yeah, I think they
Defensively, I
have a
think
good
they're gonna be a
defense.
good score. They're gonna be good on that side. They're gonna be a solid unit on
If they
that
had
side.
Barmore, they'd be a really good defense.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I don't want to spend the entire podcast talking about one game. We've already spent 18 minutes talking about one game. So, shall we get into some of these other games? You want to start with your guys' games too, or you just want to go down the
I'm
list?
fine with going in order.
Go down the
All
list.
right. KC Baltimore. Great game to start the season. This was a fun one. This was a
Oh yeah.
really fun one. Um,
I got so unlucky.
you
I should
did.
have
You
got
did.
this pick right, bro.
I
I
mean, you
think
should. I mean, in the end of the day,
Justice Hill did a really good job blocking Chris
mhm,
Jones on the last two
he
plays,
did. He did. He did
but
a great job.
they should not have ran that blocking scheme though, because it still caused issues.
Mhm. Yeah, the Ravens offensive line and their defense,
Running a
two
full
units.
slide away from Chris Jones is really weird to
It's
me.
bold. It's a bold strategy. It's a bold strategy. Maybe
Bold
they
strategy,
realized
Cotton.
Justice Hill was
Didn't
going to
pay
do a
off
better
though.
job blocking than their actual offensive lineman.
Poor Roger Rosengarten. First NFL snap goes up against Chris Jones fumble.
Um, Not great, Bob. But no, you're right. You're right. That's yeah, it's rough. That's rough. Yeah, Ravens O line's rough, man. Their defense didn't look super hot
No, it
either.
didn't. And I'm putting that I
You're
was beaming.
seeing the losses. I would put it on you would definitely lose on Mike McDonald. You're also putting it on losing Patrick Queen because I know we talked a lot about how Patrick Queen was not good before Roquan Smith got to Baltimore, and then he really turned it around after he got there. It almost looks like it was the flip though, because Patrick
Roquan had a
Queen had a good game in
horrible
Pittsburgh
PFF
and
grade.
Roquan was horrible.
Roquan had like a 20 something PFF
Yeah.
grade.
He looked out of shape. He looked slow. He couldn't cover freaking
That
Rashee
was
Rice to save
bad.
his life. Now, granted, you're not usually putting a linebacker on a receiver like Rashee Rice, who's got deadly speed, but
You're
there you
definitely
go.
seeing the regression.
Yeah,
Oh, good
yeah,
one. Good one.
yeah. I was hoping someone would catch that. But anyways,
I mean,
yeah,
and then you let up two, like, okay, people are like freaking out about Xavier Worthy being a star. Those were two pretty fluky touchdowns. A reverse in the high red zone and a total bust.
I yeah, we'll see. We'll see. They need to get physical with him. Cam Taylor Britt said in an interview today, if you can get physical with Xavier
That's
Worthy, knock him off
100%
his
what you need to do.
platform. Yeah, and we'll see. I mean,
That
Cam Taylor
training camp
Britt's
video,
he's pretty good at that press, so
that
I
training
think
camp video of Xavier Worthy.
yeah, I remember that one. That was rough. So, um, yeah, we'll see. So on the Ravens side of things, I don't know. I kind of feel a little vindicated in that my concerns about them maybe falling off because of that O line and defense losing pieces, they look valid.
They
Lose
do.
this game, which could very much like the Bengals end up being a big tiebreaker game later in the AFC playoff race. And it's always good to see an AFC North team lose. It's not great to see the Chiefs lose or Chiefs win, I mean, but better than the Ravens. Daniel, I know you got thoughts on how this game ended, though. We'll see.
Of course, I lose to a toe, man. That just set the tone.
Literally,
That set the tone for my week one pick 'em.
That
yeah,
would have gone for two as well. That would have been so cool.
yeah. You could have won it right there. I mean, you would have won it right there if they won it. Either way,
Hey, man.
whether they get it, you get the +3 and you win. They don't get it, then
That's
you still get the +3 and they win.
Yeah, exactly.
Either way, as long as it didn't go to OT, which it wouldn't have if they went for two, you would have been solid.
people were blaming Zay on that miss from Lamar.
I did see that. I didn't look into it enough to see if Lamar just missed him or
I kind
Zay
of
like.
see what people are saying by saying it was Zay's fault. I kind of see what they're saying.
But
Is you should be following the quarterback rather than just planting.
mhm, mhm.
Because I mean, it was a pretty damn soft spot.
Right, right. Find the opening in the coverage and just sit. But they
I
had a
know that's
solid
what he
game
did. He
though.
should have drifted a little bit with Lamar.
I saw a funny tweet. Zay's gonna have 150 catches for 450 yards this season. That's like, yeah, that's a Zay Flowers stat line right there. Yeah, buy a toe, man. Buy a toe. Oh man, Isaiah Likely get don't wear or is it wear white shoes next time? That's what it was.
Oof. Brazil.
Brazil. This is a fun one.
Brazil.
Jordan Love, rip.
Jalen Carter, dirty.
Yeah, yeah.
That was pretty dirty. I'm happy it's not bad.
The high-low hits, man. The high-low hits are dangerous.
Especially grabbing and twisting someone's leg when you're on the ground.
Right. Yeah, Green Bay had a chance to come back in this one, couldn't get it done, and they lost their quarterback in the process, about as bad as you could hope. Philly didn't look great though. Jalen
No.
Hurts, not great. Made enough plays obviously to win, but
You know, it looked pretty good
some
though.
ugly picks in there too.
Saquon looked pretty good.
Saquon did look good. Saquon did look good. I saw some Giants fans that were like celebrating how he had like a 3 yard loss or whatever on his first carry. And they were like, yes. And then the rest of the game happened. And then the Giants game happened on Sunday.
Damn, that's kind of rough.
Yeah.
He did have a really good game though. Jaden Reed on the Packers side, he killed it too.
Yeah. Jaden Reed had a great game. Great game.
Nice.
It's tough, you know. I mean, obviously, we're not necessarily the biggest Packers fans on this pod, especially Daniel. But I mean, they had flashes of being, you know, defensively they had flashes. They just couldn't really finish the turnovers, turn the turnovers into touchdowns. And
Nope.
when you can't do that, you can't convert on the other team making mistakes. It's not gonna bode well in the long run. So
yeah, hopefully
that's really
Jordan Love gets back healthy.
Mhm.
Like seeing guys get injured. Honestly, as far as Jordan Love's game in itself, though, kind of a mixed bag, but he had his moments. Same with Jalen Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
There's kind of
that's what's going to be like in a game like that.
that's true. I heard the field conditions are really bad.
Oh yeah,
I heard the atmosphere was lacking. I'm not surprised. If there was any game that was expected to be relatively sloppy, it was going to be this one. But hey, at least they get to tell their kids and grandkids that they played the first ever football game in Brazil. Or sorry, first ever gridiron football.
Yeah, there you go.
Gridiron football.
You're the last person I expect to make that mistake, Daniel.
Well, you know, too Americanized. What can I say?
I love the video of the Eagles fans at Christ the Redeemer. It's like that's the most Philly thing ever.
It wasn't even in Rio. It was in Sao Paulo.
Yep.
That was funny. ATL Pit.
Oh boy, that was ugly.
I know. Daniel,
boys.
you had a take about this one. We were wrong about Atlanta. Was that the direct quote?
I said that.
Oh, was that you, Rob? Never mind. I thought it was Daniel.
I said that in the group chat. Especially
I just responded that he was right.
After seeing all the videos from Kirk in training camp or in practices, just not being able to move. I was like,
yep.
And then how they were exclusively out of gun all game. It was like, oh boy, this is bad. Because I mean, they can't really run play action because you're not under center.
No.
Can't run wide
I mean,
zone.
that's a McVay offense. They love their play action.
Can't run wide zone, the staple run of that offense.
Yep, exactly.
It's a lot harder to run gap scheme when you're not under center. So it's like, damn, you might have to be. They're looking at their opening schedule. They're probably going to be 0-3. It's going to be like, you're going to hear the panic chants coming, man.
Maybe. As if Kirk doesn't get hurt himself first. I mean, they are playing Jalen Carter next week.
Oof.
And
it's Monday night.
And it's Monday night, yeah. Yeah, it was rough. You gotta, you know.
Yeah, honestly, Kirk might be cooked. I was mentioning earlier too, like there were some notes from media that his footwork wasn't looking too good either. Like it's pretty like, yeah.
He's static, right? He's a statue right now.
Yeah, it's not great.
It's like when Joe Burrow had the it always comes back to Burrow with me because of course it does. It's like when he had the calf last year, where he just could not move in the pocket at all. He's just a statue. And it's, you know, people are like, oh, it's quarterback. How much do you need your calf or your killer, whatever? And it's like, you're not going to be able to move in the pocket. And that actually ends up being a big part of just how an offense runs because zero escapability, zero pocket movement. You can't move the pocket at all. You can't like try any boots. You can't really work out of under center at all, which hurts the play action game. Hurts a lot, honestly.
Other thing about Kirk, it's not just the movement. You can't drive the ball.
Yeah. And he doesn't have like the strongest arm to begin with either, which is also Burrow's problem last year too. So yeah, Atlanta with, I mean, I'm just thinking like last year's Burrow. It's not great. That's not great. Last year's early season Burrow before the calf came back.
We might very well get an MPJ sighting sooner than we think.
Oh,
And that could turn out to be a pretty good pick for them. Funny enough.
yeah.
Yeah, I like seeing Falcons fans tweet like, "I take back everything I said about Penix's pick."
Yeah. On the opposite side of things, congratulations, Pittsburgh. You're the only AFC North team to win this week. You're also the only AFC North team not to score a touchdown. So,
Steelers football, baby.
Steelers football. Their offense looks horrible. Fields ain't it. Fields ain't it. He can run. He
Yeah,
had a pretty
Russ
good
not
game
starting
running.
was surprising
Uh,
because he's been an Iron Man,
yeah. Yeah, Fields ain't it though.
See, the Steelers looked about how everyone expected them to look.
Yeah. Defense looks amazing still, which I don't think anyone thought it wouldn't. I mean, they didn't really lose any pieces
Who's
on
the
that
Steelers
side.
DC?
Terrell Austin.
Oh, of course, I knew that.
They haven't really lost any piece on that side, but they added Dante Jackson and Patrick Queen, so they're good. They're good on that side. It's the offense which was going to be a problem, and it still looks like a problem right
Don't we
now.
love an Arthur Smith offense?
Yeah. Other than them in New York, was there any other teams that didn't score a touchdown this week? Oh, Chicago didn't score an offensive one.
I think it was just those two.
Denver until like late in the fourth.
Yeah. Yeah, Giants. Yeah, I think it's just those two. Yep, those are the only two that didn't score a single touchdown. Very different results though. So we'll talk about the Giants later though, because God, what a freaking train wreck. Sorry, EK, but I think you might have
He
been a
texted
little.
me after that game. I'll save what he said.
Okay, well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Let's see. Yeah, Atlanta, Pittsburgh. There you go. Those are the thoughts. Pittsburgh looks exactly how you'd expect them to, and they're the only AFC North team to win. So, Atlanta did not look how we expected them to. Kirk, if you're not healthy, man, let Penix rock it until you are. That's all I'll say.
Maybe they were just saving Penix from a week 1 game against the Steelers.
Maybe. Arizona Buffalo. This one was crazy. Arizona almost pulled it off, boys. They almost pulled it off.
Yeah, they play hard.
They played hard. They got a
They
big
can't finish.
lead. They got a big lead to start, and then they just the wheels fell off.
They just can't finish right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Buffalo's secondary looked rough in this one. They did look good against Miami to their credit, but
Yep. It
we'll
was
talk
just
about
because they
that.
played Miami like insane people.
Yeah. They're so
You know
good
who
against
didn't look good in that game though on Arizona's team?
what, Marvin Harrison?
Marvin Harrison.
He got one target in the entire game, and he was open. I saw clips. He was open. Kyler just was not looking his way.
Should focus less on the jerseys.
What's that?
You should be focusing less on the jerseys and more about building chemistry.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's
Oh man.
Kyler just was not looking his way, man. He was open. There
I'm
was
still
one clip
dying
where
on
he
the
was
hill
open for a
that
touchdown.
Marv was overrated. I'm still dying on that hill.
And you will be dying on that hill. Rome's hurt, so that's a bummer. Neighbors had a solid game.
Luckily, it's not season ending.
Right. Neighbors had a solid game though. If you're based on early returns, he's wide receiver 1 out of the top 3. So, let's see.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
Buffalo. Hey man, Josh Allen's superhuman when he wants to be.
You know, I was making a point to somebody a few days ago. People always say that Lamar Jackson is never going to beat the running back allegations. Why not Josh Allen then? Because their play styles are pretty similar. They both do a lot of running.
I feel like
They both pass the ball pretty well, too.
Allen does have a lot of running back allegations.
I feel like he doesn't get anywhere near as much as Lamar, though. I feel like
that is true. That's true. Although only one of those guys has come out and openly said "fuck passing,"
hey man,
and it's not Josh Allen.
Watch the games.
All I'm saying is Lamar said in an interview, "fuck passing." He's a quarterback.
Games.
I don't know. It's hard to come back from that one.
Hey, maybe
he was doing it ironically. I don't know.
Maybe Josh Allen comes out one day and he also says "fuck passing."
In that case, we can make fun of both of them.
Nah,
we can make fun of both of them.
Shout out Josh Allen though. He's a good QB. He had a good game against Arizona.
Yeah, He didn't have to do much against Miami. We'll talk about the Miami game later.
Tua's gonna be tweeting crackers the day in 2 years. Someone just posted that on Twitter.
Oh gosh. Yeah, any more takes on Buffalo, Arizona? Oh no, that it was a crazy game, but honestly, I don't feel like I'm. Oh wait, first ever dynamic kickoff return
Oh my
touchdown.
gosh!
Shout
I was
out
hoping
DJ
you would bring it
Dallas.
back. I was hoping you would bring that up. Of course, it happens like a week or two after I bashed him.
Shout out DJ Dallas. History. His jersey's going up in Canton.
It is. Have fun, Rob.
DJ Dallas, Arizona Cardinal. First ever dynamic kickoff return touchdown. Let's
Why didn't he ever
go.
do that shit when he was a horrible kick returner for us?
Oh,
Because Seattle's not cool and Arizona's cool.
well, it's actually quite hot down here. It's
17.
10-17 and it's 85 degrees.
Good one.
So it was a high of 103 today. So
Oh, we got a high of like 67.
It's about
It's in the 60s right now.
Yeah, it's I will say it's about 5 degrees hotter in Phoenix than it is in Tucson too. So it's probably about 108 up there.
Ooh, baby.
Ugh,
Yeah. So
that's rough.
next game, Tennessee, Chicago. Brutal break for you guys. You guys looked like you had this in the bag for a while. Yeah, I don't know. We could turn this into a Will Levis hate segment just to bash Raw, but we're not going to do that. Not
That
today.
was rough,
Maybe in
man.
the future.
Daryl Taylor
It's
had
not looking
a
hot.
sack fumble for a touchdown.
It's
I'm not
looking
bitter
too
about that.
hot.
I'm not bitter about that trade. Some Seahawks people are bitter about that. It's like he wouldn't be playing if he was in Seattle.
I mean, Chicago's defense looks good. I mean, 2 defensive touchdowns. Their defense looks good. Which Eberflus is a defensive guy.
And special
Offensively,
teams.
right, and special teams. Offensively, Caleb didn't do much, honestly. Their offense was
They
a
did not look
letdown.
very good.
No, they did not look very good.
Wedge
Now,
zone
granted,
one.
Tennessee's got a good defense. Tennessee's good on that side, but
Caleb
yeah,
looked like a rookie.
it
The
looks
only
like a
real
rookie.
take I had for this game, I'm just sad that Chicago was a beneficiary of all the shit that happened.
Of fluky luck.
Yeah, Caleb's got to dedicate his game ball to Will Levis, honestly. He's got to send it to him in the mail. Be like, thanks, champ.
Oh,
Maybe drizzle a little mayo on it before he sends it.
oh my god. At least make it QP mayo.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no, this game, if Will Levis was a competent quarterback,
Oh, miracle whip
in the
guy.
slightest. Yeah. But hey, Andy Dalton's finally off the hook. We have a
Yep, he
better
is,
gift
he
now.
is.
We have a better gift now.
That one's better as a still.
That's true. I think the best part about it being like a still too is it's not like a perfect still shot. Like there's like movement around the frame because it's
I
like
like the blurred
moving
one
photo.
too.
And the blur makes it like that one Mr. Krabs meme where he's like freaking out.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. I prefer it with the blur. So great moment. There's always good memes that come out of the NFL season. Maybe we should have made that the thumbnail.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we'll come back to it. Maybe there'll be more Will Levis memes later in the year. I can only clown on Baltimore so many times, so we're gonna use that one.
We already talked about this one.
Already talking about this one. Houston, Indy. This was a
That was a
one.
quarterback duel. Ooh,
Yeah.
baby.
AR, man.
launching it, man.
Yeah. I don't know.
He also missed some others.
Right. AR looked exactly how AR is going to look because he had some rough throws and then he had the throw of the weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Which is exactly what we expected, honestly. That was such an insane off the back foot, too.
And let's not forget about CJ Stroud having some crazy stuff happen, too.
Oh, yeah. No, this is an awesome game. Yeah, Stroud I mean, honestly, quarterback passing yard totals were down across the league. 2 quarterbacks won over 300 yards this entire week week. Actually, that's not necessarily true. How did Trevor Lawrence and Jared Goff do? Let's see. T-Law, D-line might have gone over 300. No, he was only 162. Oh, geez. Never mind. He wasn't even close. And then how did Jared do?
Jared was like 217.
217. Yeah, only two quarterbacks the entire week went over 300 yards. So last year's trend of passing being down across the league seems to be continuing, at least in week one, early returns. But yeah, it's just some insane numbers. Joe Mixon, fantastic game, by the way. Not gonna say I miss him yet because I miss his personality. I miss having him around the team. At the same time, sometimes you lose a guy. It's not because he wasn't still a talented player, just because he wasn't a fit for what you're doing anymore. And Zach Moss had a good game to his credit. I will say there's one more positive from the Bengals game I didn't bring up. Zach Moss looked pretty good. But yeah, Houston Indy, great game. Great game. Indy barely covers. They lose by 3, or they lose by 2. Line was 3. So there you go. Yeah, don't really have much more to say about this one. Hard
No.
was a fun one.
Another one we got all wrong was Miami Jacksonville. That was a weird one.
That was a very weird one. And Miami, because Miami was down 17-0, I think.
Miami's lucky they're not 0-2 right now.
Yeah, no, right. My 0-2 with a quarterback who is now watching MacGruber on the flight. Or I guess they were at home, so it's not a flight, on the bus home.
Oh, that's right. No flight.
Yeah. He's watching MacGruber in his penthouse right now. Half. Yeah, Jacksonville. It was a tale of two games for Jacksonville, man, because they were awesome in the first half. They looked like they had a 3-possession lead. They were rolling, and then the wheels fell off. Maybe it was the heat. Maybe it was the fact that they couldn't cover Tyreek Hill. Also, we haven't talked about this yet. Tyreek Hill got arrested before the game and then proceeded to put up 130 yards and a touchdown. So
that body cam is pretty damning.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough. It's
like people on like Twitter's like, wow, people aren't realizing that Cubans in Miami that are cops or hate black people. You guys didn't know that? And they put Calais Campbell in handcuffs too. Calais Campbell parked illegally and just tried to defuse the situation and got put in handcuffs.
It's just a really bad situation all around.
I did see the meme where like you're like, this is the cop that arrested Tua. He's on leave right now. There's a picture of the Rizzler in a police officer costume.
Yeah,
that one was pretty funny.
the freaking Costco guys, man.
Well, the Rizzler's not one of the Costco guys. The Rizzler's
he's not.
He's affiliated with them.
Is affiliated with them. Is it only Big Justice and AJ?
And Big Justice. Those are the Costco guys.
Oh gosh.
I'm a Rizzler guy over
everyone loves the Rizzler, man. The Rizzler's the king.
Big Justice is a little too put on for me.
Yeah. I don't know. He's all I've got to say is I want me a double chunk chocolate cookie.
Dude, that sounds kind of good, actually.
It's a boom.
It's a boom. The chicken bake is also a boom, but which one is a bigger boom?
I've never been a big chicken bake guy. I'm sorry.
Really? Oh,
gosh. Good, bro.
Chicken bakes are good, man. I like chicken bakes.
Honestly, most of the stuff at Costco is really good. Even their ice cream, man.
Oh, that ice cream is good.
Dude, okay, I will die on the hill that Costco is the best pizza. The pizza's amazing.
I disagree, but I see the point.
Not the best pizza, but it's very good and very cheap.
I was gonna say it's like the perfect party pizza.
Yeah, because it's huge, it's massive, and it's cheap, and it's delicious. Their cheese is basically plastic, but that's okay.
Now you need a membership to use the food court, which sucks.
It's like a rich man's version of Little Caesars.
Yeah,
with like the pieces you can get.
Yeah.
I'd take Pizza Hut over Little Caesars. My number one fast food pizza is Domino's.
Domino's. I was gonna say Domino's is the way to go, man. I love Domino's pizza.
I would take Pizza Hut over Little Caesars.
Pizza Hut was
easily
born.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Pizza
wait,
Hut
hold
4.
on, hold on. Okay. Rank these 5 pizzas. And I'm gonna throw a surprise one in there that I think is gonna be number 5, but I'll just set it up. So Costco, I'll put in the chat here too. Costco, Domino's, Little Caesars, Pizza Hut, and one that I don't even know if is around anymore, but was really big about 10 years ago, Papa John's.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, John's still around.
Papa John's still.
Is it? Is it? Okay. I didn't know. I haven't seen
The
it in
day
a
of
while.
reckoning will come.
The day of reckoning will come.
Okay, here we go. We're gonna go Domino's,
Okay. I like it.
Costco,
Mm-hmm.
Pizza Hut,
Mm-hmm.
Papa John's, Little Caesars.
Okay. Okay. All right,
UW,
Daniel.
our freshman and like sophomore year, would always give people Papa John's at
That's
events,
fair.
and I didn't like it.
Yeah,
It's okay.
I like Costco at number 1, Domino's 2, Papa John's 3. Actually, Little Caesars 3 because the breadsticks are really good.
Mm,
Papa John's at 4, but they're kind of neck and neck, and then Pizza Hut at 5.
interesting.
Of course, a
Okay.
Michigander likes Little Caesars.
Bro,
Little Caesars.
Pizza Hut's also it's just not good, guys. Like every time I've gone
I
there,
will say Pizza Hut, every time I've been, I've kind of been let down by.
it's like it used to be one of the best pizza places in like the 80s and 90s, and then they just gradually went to shit. Like,
I don't like Pizza Hut. It's ranking 2 things I don't like, basically.
right.
yeah,
So I'll say Costco 1, Domino's 2. If I want a quality pizza, I'd go to Domino's. If I want a cheap thing that's going to be delicious and will fill me for a week and a half, I go to Costco. So maybe I should put a Domino's. Domino's 1, Costco 2. Papa John's 3, just for their garlic butter.
Racist.
Pizza 4, Little Caesars 5. I just like the body. I love finishing the pizza, being left the
People
crust and
love
dipping in
that.
the
People
garlic
love
butter.
that Papa John's dip.
Yeah, it's good, man. It's good. I will say one weird thing about Pizza Hut is they're I said that word, Pizza Hut. No, they're I meant to say Papa John's though. One weird thing about Papa John's, their bread is like weirdly sweet. I
Interesting.
don't know how to explain it. They've got like sweet bread. I haven't had it in a while,
That's
but
what
I
I've
remember
heard,
that was
too.
always something I was like, this is kind of weird. But anyways, I like how we just got on a Rizzler conversation and then we started talking about pizza rankings. This is a sidetrack podcast, folks.
I was literally about to ask, how did we start talking about pizza?
As we talked about Rizzler, Costco pizza.
Hmm.
We went from talking about the Tyreek Hill body cam footage to the Rizzler to pizza rankings. I love this podcast, man. Never ended. Never ended. Carolina, New Orleans. Daniel, you got to take. I'm gonna let you have the floor for this.
So the reason I have a take is not because of the prediction. I don't want to talk about that. We forget
The
about that.
high, hey, you know what? And before the pod, I'll just say for the good people that Daniel said he had he wanted the floor for the Panthers game and the Bengals game, and I said, "Oh, is it because it was the highs and lows of your week from a prediction standpoint?" He said, "No." So I'm excited to hear what the take is here.
So the take for the Panthers here is their game, first game under Dave Canales, right? It reminded
Mm,
me almost verbatim of Matt Patricia's first game with Detroit.
mm,
Get absolutely embarrassed. Nothing looks good. Everything looks incompetent from top to bottom. And the reason I make that a point is because we could see the first 0-17 team. And I know it's only been 1 week, but Bryce Young is a bust, first of all. He's
yeah.
whatever debate there was about him, it's done. He looked absolutely awful. They're gonna be looking for their new franchise quarterback when this year's done. Their best player across the entire team is Deontay Johnson. He's a good receiver, but like if a receiver's your best player, it reminds me of Calvin Johnson being the best player in Detroit during the 08 season. A receiver can only do so much. They could be amazing, but they can only do so much. Defense abysmal. Special teams abysmal. Getting absolutely. I get that the Superdome in New Orleans is a hard place to go to. The Saints aren't that good of a team. I still don't think they're that great. And
They're a horrible team.
that's the thing, and we'll probably get into that more when we make our predictions for this week. But bro, they're not good, and they look like absolute world beaters against this Panthers team, bro. And the reason I think the biggest reason this reminds me of the Matt Patricia game is because when Matt Patricia coached that game, I knew he wasn't the coach for that team. I knew he was going to flounder. After that one game, I knew we were cooked. After this one game, Canals is cooked. Bryce Young is cooked. But I think in this case, it's not even going to be Canals' fault. That ownership and the management in Carolina, bro, is terrible. We were talking about how the Bengals management is disappointing, bro. Compared to Carolina's, Bengals have the best management team on the planet, bro. Jamar Chase contract situation and like the offseason prep, that's nothing on whatever the fuck Dave Tepper has cooking over there, man. And it sure isn't good barbecue. Dude, it's exactly like that game. It's the same vibe. Like it's all cooked. It's over before it started. Carolina's probably still going to win a game or two, but bro, didn't we think this team was going to win like 4 games? I don't know if we're going to hit that now, man. This team looks awful. They look so bad, bro. And like I don't even know what to think of the Saints. It's like I still don't even think they're that great.
I think this might just be the Panthers might be the worst team in football by a large margin, and also they lost Derek Brown, who is like their only good defensive player
for the year, right?
Significant. I don't know if it's for the year, but it's for a long time. If it's not, it might be for the year.
That's the thing, dude. Is like I have 0 takes about the Saints after this game. Like, yeah, on the box score, Derek Carr looked good. Rashid Shaheed got his touchdown, but shit, man, I don't know what to think of them.
Derek Brown out for the year. Yep.
Yeah, dude, they don't have a team. Carolina, their season is over before it started, man. It's the only usually in week 1, like we don't really know what's going to happen throughout the course of the year, but this is the one game, week 1 game that I'm like, yeah, Carolina's cooked. They're done. There's no, I don't even know if they're going to win 3 games, bro. I think they have a lower chance right now of winning 3 to 4 games than they do going winless. Dude, sometimes, man, I wonder why those Patricia teams never went winless, and I realized because we had Matt Stafford. He kind of kept that team afloat so we could win like 5 games. But this Carolina team's got nothing, man. And I feel bad for Dave Canales, man. I was honestly kind of excited for him. I thought he was a really good OC in Tampa last year. He's screwed. His coaching career is done. It's because he took this job, and it's not even his fault. Poor dude just wanted to get a pay rise. He just wanted to get some more experience and challenge himself. And this franchise is going to do this to him. I was even hearing from Panthers fans, the scheme actually looks better. The offense looked better than they did last year. And they still get blown out, bro. Franchise is cooked. That's all I got to say. Like,
yeah. I got one take on this. I agree with everything you've said. And I gave Rob a hard time about Will Levis and him looking like doo-doo in a baby's diaper. I was wrong about Bryce Young. He is a bust. He looks like doo-doo in an extra small baby's diaper.
I think the only silver lining is
I was wrong. I told him let's give him a year. Let's give him a new offensive system. I was wrong. I'm out on Bryce Young. Officially, I'm calling it.
The only silver lining is at the very least, Panthers fans aren't going to have a Bears fan style Justin Fields debate. They're all like, I actually got a chance to kind of read what their fan base is thinking because I was really curious. They're all out on Bryce Young. Not a single Bryce Young defender there. His career is done.
That's hard. It's hard.
And I kind of feel for him too. Like he seems like a good guy. He seems like a hard worker. It's just not there for him.
Seahawks quarterback next year.
He might be. I've probably still got an edit in my phone from.
Well, please give Sam Howell an opportunity before you get Bryce Young. I'm begging you.
We'll let Bryce Young be the backup.
What is the backup? Oh my god!
I can't believe a Dennis Allen-led team scored 47 points.
Hey, Clint Kubiak, there's some advanced metrics that had him as the best play caller in the league this past week.
Oh shit! Good for him.
Yeah. So there you go.
That could mean something. You never know.
Maybe. Um, Vikings Giants. I mean, is there
Oh,
much to say about this one other than that the Giants are fucking
ugly as
horrible?
the Giants played as ugly as those uniforms.
Yeah, they're rough, man. They
That
Giant
Alex
Daniel
Van Ginkel
Jones
pick,
is
that Alex Van Ginkel pick was really good.
right.
It was, man.
Daniel Jones is just a fucking disaster,
Giants
man.
fans staying after to boo him or to heckle him.
That was.
Yeah.
I kind of felt bad for Daniel Jones at that point, man. I know he's got a fat contract, but imagine either one of us is, like has a game like that. And we're just trying to get to our car and go home.
Hmm.
We have thousands of fans just heckling us, being like,
That's why you
Yeah.
have a
"Give us
that's
a
why you have
million
a
dollars."
parking lot under the stadium.
Yeah.
That
He's
is,
quarterback of the biggest market in the league. That comes with now obviously Dallas because of the team will always have a bigger microscope on it. But in terms of market, you don't get bigger than the New York Giants. No other way around that. And when you play like he did, and you play like he has, and you are who he is, that comes with scrutiny. And
So, friend of the pod, Ethan Kilbreath. This is what he said to me after that game. Let me just pull up this text.
yeah, let me hear this.
Forget about all my Giants picks. 4-13 incoming. Quinn,
That might be
you are
optimistic, boys.
right.
I will say Giants and Panthers play later in the year, though. So
That's a
that's
super.
right.
What would it be? Quinn.
the Super Tank
Oh
Bowl.
no. We need to come up with a phrase.
Is it
Quit
just
for
gonna be called
Quinn. Quit for Quinn.
Good for Quinn.
quit for Quinn?
I miss when you had Super Burrow Bowl. That was such a good time. The
Yeah,
Super
Super
Burrow
Bowl
Bowl.
Bowl. Super Bowl Bowl. Gosh, and it was perfect timing on that too, because it was week 16. We'll
Mm-hmm.
never get another like perfectly lined up game like that again,
And
probably.
perfectly named.
And too perfectly named, yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. There's not much for me on the Vikings side of things. Their defense looked great, but it was because they're playing the Giants. Sam Darnold looked good, but it's because he's playing the Giants. They're playing the
You know who
Niners
had a
this
rough
week.
game?
Aaron
Got
Jones
caught
was
up by the
nice.
press too.
Is that
Kayvon Thibodeau.
he did. I did see that. He did see that. And he like refused to answer a question during the press conference, and that was
Damn.
rough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate to see it.
Yeah. Chargers Raiders. So this is one we were wrong on.
We were wrong on this one.
That not only the Chargers killed them.
Dude,
I
that's
was
not the
watching this
Chargers I
game.
saw.
Honestly, Chargers 22, Raiders 10.
That is not the
It was
Chargers.
worse than this. It was worse than the
Oh yeah.
scoring.
This is not the Chargers team I saw week one of the preseason
No. I mean,
at
their
all.
defense looked good. Their
It
defense looked
did.
really good.
It's like Raiders fucked up hiring Antonio Pierce, man.
Yeah, Antonio Pierce already looks like he might not be it. It'll be funny when
They're gonna
Marvin Lee
fire
he gets fired and
another
Marvin
coach.
Lewis is the coach by the time they get to the Bengals game in week 9
They're gonna fire another coach. Oof.
mid-season.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Raiders, man. I
I
mean,
feel
and you know what? And it's tough because there were players that were threatening mutiny if they didn't hire Antonio Pierce. Like Max
That's
Crosby said
true.
he was demanding a trade if they didn't hire Antonio Pierce. Um, that makes it really tough on ownership, and I get that. At the same time, you have to make the decision that's best for your franchise. And if you don't think Antonio Pierce is the guy, don't hire Antonio Pierce. I'm sorry. My brother's a Raiders fan. He said the Pierce hire, permanent hire, was stupid, and he was right. We were
If
high on the Raiders.
a
I told him
coach
I've had conversations telling him how high we are on the Raiders this year, and he was laughing at me because he thinks Antonio
a
Pierce
good
is
coach
bad.
would be able to convince Max Crosby to stay.
Right, exactly. But it's like the Raiders ownership didn't even want to risk that when they were making the decision. They didn't want to be like, oh, we can pick a coach that will convince you to want to stay, Max. They were like, we don't want a trade request at all. We don't want this to become a thing because he's the only building block we have right now. Um, yeah, defensively, the Chargers look great in this one. Which Jesse Minter defense, you know. That Michigan scheme seems to be successful just about anywhere it's employed at this point. So,
Uh, by Minter and McDonald. I don't know about the other guys.
or what McDonald. I mean, Minter's the DC, so that's why I said Minter's
Well,
DC, but that
well, I
Michigan
mean,
scheme.
what I'm saying is Weaver, or didn't look great. Is what I'm saying. So, and they're from that same scheme.
I think the Miami defense played fine.
That's not what
Tennessee
I saw.
defense looked good.
Ravens,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Ravens, you're right. You're right.
they're
You're right.
not
You're right.
looking like McDonald and Minter.
Right. I guess that's true.
And those are the two guys that made that scheme.
Yeah, there. Well, the disciples are never going to be quite as good as the original.
That is true.
Usually.
That is true.
Usually. It's not always true, but usually.
Usually.
Speaking of McDonald, you want to hop right into Seahawks
Yeah, I'll
Broncos?
hop in. I'll hop in.
Go ahead. I'll give you the floor.
The defense was great all game. It was just night and day from what we saw with Carroll. The tackling was superb. Seemed like dudes were always in positions to tackle. There was always a couple of people around the ball. D-line played great against a lot of just quick throws and half boots. So they didn't have time to make pressure happen, but they played really well. Linebacker Tyrell Dodson played great, man. He looks like the real deal. Jerome Baker was solid. So the defense was great all game. The offense was a tale of two halves because, oh my God, it was so bad in the first half. They let up two safeties. Gino had no time. That was bad. And special teams wasn't that great either because D. Williams fumbled a punt that gifted 3 points. So the offense spotted the Broncos 7 points basically. But second half they really started pounding the rock. That started working really well, and they were able to get a good lead and just kind of coast the rest of the game. So you could definitely see some of the inexperience of a rookie head coach, rookie staff with some of those hiccups that we had. But they made changes pretty quickly and were able to adapt, which is really good to see. I liked what I saw schematically everywhere. And there were some pretty fun moments, like Marshawn Lynch going up to Mike McDonald and giving him a back rub in the middle of the game. Did you guys see that?
I did see that. I did see that.
Marshawn's the only person in the universe who could get away with that.
I'm trying to find where Dodson is in the PFF rankings. Oh wow, he's way down here. His coverage rating was pretty high though. He was fifth best coverage backer this week.
He looked fantastic out there. I was really impressed with him. And then the other really funny moment was the Adam Archuleta. Oh no! As soon as Beau threw one, that was really funny.
Yeah.
But definitely am happy with what happened. There's definitely some kinks to work out. I don't think it can get much worse on the offensive line than that first half.
Right.
But I liked what I saw. I like the new direction we're going in, and excited to see more. Excited to see Mike McDonald dial it up even more because as soon as they saw Denver's game plan of quick dump off, they weren't running all the exotic stuff because there's no reason to put that on film when it's not going to get home. So I'm excited to see what they do against some other teams. I mean, and you're facing Jacoby Brissett and Skylar Thompson in the next 2 weeks. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
Agreed.
Nick's had a rough game. He had a rough game.
Sorry, I'm just going through the PFF grades from the week.
Julian
This is
Love
the first time I pulled him up, actually. It's the first time I'm looking at him. Logan Wilson, second highest graded linebacker of the week. I told you there was one defensive player who looked like he wanted to be there.
Charles Cross had a 90-something ranking, too.
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull up offensive linemen. Tackles. I'll pull up tackles here. Let's see. Yeah, Charles Cross was the highest graded offensive tackle in the league this past week.
Julian Love was the highest graded safety.
Yeah, there you go. Where's Orlando Brown? I was gonna say Orlando Brown had a good game. Yeah, there you go at 72.6 pass block, and that was pass blocking 80.1. That's got to be top.
That's good.
That's got to be pretty high. 80.1. Oh, it's down there. Okay, it's pretty high though. It's in the top 15. It looks like 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, 17. 17. Not terrible.
Honestly, shout out to the Broncos punter because he caused the 2 safeties and the muff punt.
There's no grades on punters. Dang it! I was hoping to see a little Ryan Rehkow love, but that's okay.
Bummer.
Dang it. It's okay though. I should have this up. This is kind of fun to just kind of see if there's any top performers that we missed, but that'll be a weekly thing, and I'm not going to show it on the pod because
Get in some trouble there.
I pay good money for these grades. But anyways, yeah, you're right. You're right. Any more takes? Seattle, Denver. I didn't watch it to be quite honest with you.
That's fine. Fake fan.
Big fan of the Seahawks. I never claimed to be. I was watching the Browns Cowboys.
Oh, you
Rob,
watched
I have a
all of
question.
that? Huh? What's up?
It was a hate watch.
How
What's up,
did
man?
how did Byron Murphy look?
He didn't get too many snaps. He
Okay.
got like no true passing situations. He was quite good in the run game though. He like threw Quinn Miners like way off of him. And then he did his double team knee thing and got through a double team too. He was
Finished
good
with
in
a
the run game.
70.5 grade. That's pretty good. 68 run defense grade,
He had like
63.9 pass rush
and Mike
grade.
McDonald said like we're hoping that he gets more true pass rush downs because he got literally none. So he was good in the run game though. So I was hoping and praying to see him get a sack or something, but it was the game plan they had just was not conducive to that.
Yeah, I like to hear it.
No slob fest just yet.
There you go. All right. Cowboys Browns. This is a fun one. This is a
Yuck.
fun one. It's been quite the week in Cleveland. I'll say that too.
Oh
Specifically
man.
for a certain quarterback who wears the number 4.
You know, Deshaun Watson is such a piece of shit. I was actually
Horrible.
kind of happy that the Cowboys won.
It's
Horrible
hard.
monster.
It is hard to find a team that will make you root for the Cowboys, but the Browns. It's so funny. They used to be the lovable losers of the NFL, but then they signed Deshaun Watson, and now every neutral fan fucking hates them, and I love that. Because their Browns, their fans have been obnoxious for 15 fucking years, but no one cared because they sucked. But now they still suck, but they've got a rapist for a quarterback, so everyone still hates them. Fuck Deshaun Watson. Personally, as a player, as a person, as a teammate, sounds like, because he
Yeah.
was like he went on and this was like, oh, my teammates got my back. And then like a running back that got cut by him, like posted a clip that he was basically Deshaun screwed up a play and then told the coaches it was the running back's fault.
Yep.
And got the guy cut, Hankins or something like
Yeah.
that. But either way, fuck Deshaun Watson. Or should I say Leroy Bickerstaff? Sorry.
Who's that? Oh,
Who's
that's his
the burner. The
That's
burner.
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Fuck Deshaun Watson and fuck Leroy Bickerstaff.
A name like that's got to be a burner. Speaking of burners, where's Adam Gase
Defensively, I mean, shoot, Tyler got. I mean, I don't really know what to say with the Browns because they gave up 33 points, but part of that is they were on the field so much because their offense was so fucking putrid that I honestly don't even know if I can blame the defense. Dak only threw 179 yards, but you only had to throw 179 yards because, they were getting turnovers in Browns territory. The Browns look bad, dude. Their defense is still going to be good, but their offense is going to be until if they don't put in Jameis soon, their offense is going to be bottom of the league bad this season.
Yeah.
I think it's rough. It's rough. Couldn't happen to a better group, by the way. Cowboys. It's a good game for them. Go on the road, AFC North opponent,
Good
win in a
defense.
blowout fashion. Yeah, this is about defense looked good without Deron Bland. Yeah, this is about what you hope if you're Dallas. This is the type of game that gets the season off on the right foot. And I know it's a season with a lot of controversy going in. Should Mike McCarthy still have his job? I know we feel a certain way about that, but that's a side conversation. Um, this is how I would want to start the season if I'm Dallas. They look good in all three phases of the game. Brandon Aubrey's still a freaking menace, by the way. So yeah. That's what I gotta say. I watched this game. That's what I gotta say. Browns suck. Cowboys, good start. Tommy's Bucks. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch a lick of this game.
Yuck. That's the only thing there is to say. I was
Mike
I saw
Evans.
Jane
following it
Daniels still
along.
doesn't know how to slide.
Yep. Yeah, he does not.
Yeah.
He's going to get killed.
Yeah. Mike Evans is inevitable. Mike
He
Evans
is.
is
Yep.
eternal. Yeah.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker had a day.
Baker's great. Yeah, I'm very happy with him as my backup QB in fantasy. Also, I'm very happy to see him being successful outside of Cleveland because they
Did you see
over.
that? Hear that Browns fan call in and compare Baker's QBR to Deshaun Watson's?
Yeah.
Turd
Actually,
radio?
let's do it quick. We got PFF up here. Let's see. So Baker finishes the sixth ranked QB in PFF with an
Oh,
82.0.
Deshaun's got to be the bottom. Him or
He
Beau?
was not actually. Jalen Hurts,
Really?
29.8 offensive grade. Bryce Young will. I'll list the quarterbacks in order of worse than so. 32 quarterbacks got ranked in order from the bottom. Jalen Hurts, Bryce Young, Will Levis, Kirk O'Chains, Jared Goff, Bo Nix, Caleb, and Jaden, Matt Stafford, surprisingly, Daniel Jones, surprisingly for a different reason. I thought he'd be lower. Herbo, again, I thought he'd be higher. Dak, I thought he'd be higher.
What?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's next. Deshaun Watson graded higher than Dak, according to
All
PFF.
right, you got to stop paying for that shit.
Graded higher than Stafford.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's dumb.
I actually get it for free because I'm contracting with them.
Oh,
Let me
nice.
do it for free. They gave it to me for free. Other notable grades: Joe Burrow 62.9, Lamar 65.6, Geno 76.1. Brock Purdy at the highest grade in the league at 89.6.
PFF merchant.
Pat Mahomes 87.9.
Purdy better than Mahomes confirmed.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long
Sam
season for the
Darnold better
commies.
than but Sam Darnold is number 2 at 88.1. Sam Darnold better than Mahomes confirmed.
It's going to be a long year for the commies, man. I think they'll get better as the season goes on.
Yeah.
Maybe one of
Hey,
those
you know
games.
what? Jane Daniels' rush grade was a 74.6. His pass grade was a 36.3.
Ooh.
Pass grade, I think he was by far the no, actually, no, that is not true. Pass grade, Jane Daniels was still only the fourth worst. Will Levis had a 29.9 passing grade.
Well, I don't think we mentioned this yet, but what Brian Callahan said, if we just punted 10 times, we would have won.
Will Levis had a 29.9 passing grade. To give you an idea, league average is 60. He was half of league average. Jalen Hurts 33.3, Bryce Young, Jane Daniels.
Wait, what was the number for Will Levis?
Will Levis 29.9. Out of 100, mind you.
Jesus. All right. Let's get to the game that Daniel's been waiting a while to
Yeah.
talk
All right.
about.
This is the floor is yours, Daniel.
You know, it's kind of funny. I don't really have a lot to say about this game. Just because I was telling Matt when we were watching that game, no matter what happens, like it's not going to change my outlook on either the Lions or the Rams. So the Lions would have lost the notes here in regulation. I would have still thought they're a Super Bowl contender. If the Rams would have pulled out the win, I would have still thought they're a wild card contender. I got to see David Montgomery absolutely truck the Rams D line in that game-winning drive. That was pretty fun to watch. Jameson Williams had a nice little breakout game. Matthew Stafford had some vintage moments on the Rams side, but then threw a pick
It
to
was like
Dak.
the last 4 games Jameson Williams has played in have been breakout games. He's been that good lately.
He's the greatest receiver drafted by the greatest human on the greatest franchise, and you guys know what kind of rabbit hole I go down from there.
Yep.
But yeah, no, it was a fun game. Honestly, I will say I think I did call this game being a blowout. I think the Lions looked a little sloppier than I expected, but I also then kind of realized in hindsight we didn't play starters in preseason. But I will say the Lions training camps are usually really physical. So they looked like somewhat prepared, but it was still kind of rusty. I expect that to get better in the coming weeks. But yeah, man, it was fun to watch. Good start. Glad to see the team go 1-0. Ford Field was rocking. Go Lions, man. That's all I gotta say.
The Lions beat them up because so many, like half their O line's out for a couple weeks. Puka Nakua was out for a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, jeez.
I will say there were some Rams fans that called the Lions dirty
It's called physical play.
because of Kirby Joseph, and because some people were saying that like the Lions blueberries matched the end zone colors, so Stafford couldn't tell where he was throwing to on that pick.
No, that was a bad throw. That's what it
I'm gonna
was.
say, yeah, he just kind of, yeah, we just.
But it was really sweet to see on that overtime drive the Lions just run it down their throats playing man football. And that right there is what happens when Aaron Donald retires.
David Montgomery he was awesome, man. He's a dog. He and Jameson Williams were absolute dog. Alex Anzalone on the defensive side was a dog, dude. Man had like 3 tackles for loss, 11 tackles total on the game. So he had such a good game, man. Aiden Hutchinson killed it.
Oh yeah, he had an awesome game.
Dude, we're that team, boys.
All right, shall we move on to the Monday night stinker?
Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
Bro, that Aaron Rodgers picture was hilarious.
Real fat one real fast thing though, because I'm down the PFF rabbit hole now. I know this is more of a college conversation, but between Oregon and Washington, can you guess who the highest graded corner on either team is?
Elijah Jackson.
Yes, it is. And by
I
a
cheated.
pretty,
I saw that. I saw that today. That's why.
you're fired for cheating. But Jordan Shaw is ranked higher than Jabbar Ahmed right now.
Jordan Shaw is gonna be so good, man.
Yeah.
We get him for another year or two.
Ephesians Price Sox hasn't been super hot, but that's okay. Anyways,
I mean, you know why though? He's had like 5 targets and like 2 of them that were BS penalties.
Elijah Jackson's the 8th highest rated corner in the country right now.
It was all coaching.
Stud. It was all coaching. It was coaching the entire time.
You get an actual cornerback coach, you can do things.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, so yeah, Monday night stinker now. Hey, shout out Jordan Mason. They look good out there. Any running back can come into a Shanahan offense and produce. That's what I'm learning.
Yep.
I honestly don't have a lot of takes from this one, boys.
Boring.
It was a blowout.
So
it was a blowout. The Niners look dominant. The Niners look like they're the favorites to win the NFC.
Remember when people were saying the Jets were going to have a good defense?
Yeah, their defense looked rough. They can't tackle. They looked as soft as the Bengals did. They couldn't fucking tackle.
Nope. They were soft.
Rodgers kind of showed his age too. Like he had his moments, but dude's
people
not
saying losing John Franklin Myers is a big loss for that interior. That's why they were so soft.
And not replacing. They lost John Franklin Myers, Bryce Huff, not that guy. Hassan Reddick, not that guy. Well, they lost Bryce Huff actually. Bryce Huff's on the Eagles now.
Yeah, did Hassan Reddick play?
No, Hassan Reddick's still holding out for a contract.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah,
he's
not that guy because he wasn't on the field.
Yeah, no, Hassan Reddick, not that guy in the sense that he's not physically a player for the New York Jets at the moment. So, yeah. Yep.
We got
any
one more
takeaways from week 1? What's that?
Got one more game.
One more game. Oh yeah, we'll talk about week 2. We'll talk about the first. We'll talk about tonight's
week 1
game.
takeaways for me are sloppy.
Yeah.
Week 1 takeaway. It was week 1.
Yep.
And besides
Uh,
that, honestly, I think Chiefs and Niners might still be the teams to beat in their conferences
probably,
Absolutely.
until proven otherwise.
probably.
Do the Lions play the Niners in season?
We
Yeah,
do
they play in like
week
week
17.
17. Yeah,
Oh,
it's like
I
the
want
last
that. I
Monday
want
night
it
game of the year.
now. I
Yeah,
want it
I'd say
now.
like Chiefs and Niners are probably teams to beat. I think Detroit's like right there, but we got to see how the season plays out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, tonight's game, Bills Dolphins. Bills killed the Dolphins. Gave their quarterback brain damage. Before that, made
And I
their
can't believe it
quarterback
was
look like a
Damar Hamlin.
moron. Dude, that's
And
so much fun.
Damar Hamlin didn't even hit him hard. It's because
No,
Tua
it's just
dove.
Tua like went head first into his stomach.
Learn how to dive, dude, or slide.
Yeah, right. Well, too little, too late. What's that? His fourth concussion in under two
That we
years now
know of.
that we know of, right? At least four concussions in the past 2 years, 2 calendar years. Um, not
Gotta
great,
hit it
man.
up, man. You
Not
gotta
great,
hang it
man.
up.
Maybe, yeah, I mean, fencing post came out again. That's not good. Um, it's, it's hard to talk about, but I mean, for his own sake, it might just be time, like you said, just call it.
Oh, wow. You can see Chargers at Panthers for $20.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, let's get into
Devin A.
picks.
Chain had a great game. That too. All right, picks time. Cowboy. Oh wait, so I started. And we'll go Daniel, Rob, me, and then Rob, me, Daniel. We'll just
Yep.
go across. Keep it easy. So, Dallas, New Orleans. Both these teams coming off big week one wins, both coming off blowout wins too. So not a lot of stress to the teams last week.
Five
This
years
time,
ago, this would be such a fun matchup.
yeah. Now they're at Jerry World. This is the Fox featured game, by the way. So this is the Tom Brady game. Of course, it's the Cowboys again.
Oh,
He's gonna be calling a lot of Cowboys games. I can't wait till his first Patriots, but still a lot of Cowboys games. But anyways, Saints Cowboys. Cowboys 6-point favorites at home. Daniel, who you got in this one?
It's an easy Dallas pick. I think they beat the spread.
There you go.
yeah, I think Dallas is
Uh,
going to smoke them.
I agree with you guys. This one's not too hard for me, honestly. We've made our thoughts clear on the Saints, and I think the Cowboys actually showed me a little bit more than I was expecting to see from them last week. So
Like
here we
Zimmer,
are.
pretty damn good DC.
Mhm. I agree. Lions now. Honestly, why did they put the Niners Lions game in week 3? Because then it would have been a perfect recreation of the Lions playoff run from last year. Home game
Oh,
against the Rams, home game against the Bucks, and then away game against the Niners. Missed
boys,
opportunity.
I got a fun fact for y'all.
Yeah.
The Lions are the first team since the 2007 Patriots with where their first two games are their first two playoff matchups from the year before,
That's pretty cool.
both at home.
And we could have made it 3 if the schedule makers hadn't have fucked up and put the Niners Lions
No.
in.
If they had
Keep
the
it two.
courage to do the right thing.
Keep it two because then the Lions can go 17-0 and make a Super Bowl.
There
It's
you go.
written in the stars.
Well, you're leading this one off, Rob.
I think 7.5 is just too big of a spread for me.
Mhm.
I think the Buccaneers are a good enough team that they'll be able to cover 7.5, but the Lions will still win.
Mhm. It's funny. Daniels actually ended up going last the way this works out, but that's okay. I agree wholeheartedly. I think the Lions win. I even think they probably win comfortably, but I expect like a backdoor Tampa cover, kind of like how the playoff game went. So give me Tampa.
I'm tempted. 7.5 is a big spread, but I could see us winning by 10. It could very well happen.
Bucks look good, man. They're playing the commies, but they look good.
They do. They're a tough opponent. That's true. I like the Bucks team. But man, I know how good my boys are too, though.
I'd like to see the creamsicles come out for this.
Honestly, fuck it, man. I think Detroit beats the spread.
All right, there you go.
I guess he's winning by a little bit more than that.
There we go. All righty then. Let's see. Colts Packers in Green Bay. Packers without Jordan Love, which means the Colts are going in as favorites by 2.5
And
points.
Malik Willis is starting.
Malik Willis. Yeah, give me the Colts in this one just because I can't trust Malik Willis right now.
I can't trust him either, but Green Bay's got the cheese. They really cheese these games. Yeah, give me the Colts. I gotta see it to believe it.
All righty. Rob,
Yeah, you know which way I'm picking on this one, Beau.
there you go. We got a clean sweep. Next up here, we've got the Jets traveling down to Tennessee to take on the Tennessee Titans, taking them carrying down Nashville. Gonna
I do
enjoy
not
Night
want to
on
watch this
Broadway.
game. I
What's
do
that?
not want to watch that game.
Yeah.
That's
You're gonna enjoy the night on Broadway, and then they're gonna take on the Titans on Sunday. Daniel, you're leading this one off. Jets are 3.5 point favorites.
Damn. Oh my God, this is kind of a tough prediction, actually. I don't know, man. Tennessee looked like I can see what they're trying to do, but they looked like a vegetable last week, man. Let's be real. Give me the Jets, bro. I gotta see it to believe it with the Titans.
That's fair. Rob?
I'm taking the Jets. I just can't get that image of Will Levis out of my head.
Part of me wants to take the Titans because I think they, at least on defense, showed a lot more life than the Jets did. But I cannot trust Will. You can't give me Will Levis right now. I'm sorry. I can't pick the Titans right now. So give me the Jets. I thought about it, but no. Niners Vikings. Rob, you're leading this one off. Niners are traveling up to Minneapolis to take on their old friend Sam Darnold.
Give me the Vikings.
They're 5 point favorites. All righty. There you go. 5 points. All right. Give me the Niners in this one. I feel good. Their Vikings are coming in high. They blew out what might be the worst team in football. Good for you. They're now taking what might be the best team in football. So
Yeah, give me the Niners as well.
there you go. Seahawks and Patriots. Look at that. Seahawks 3.5 point
Can I lead this
favorites.
one off?
What's that?
Can I lead this one off?
I didn't let Daniel lead the Lions.
I just have something funny to say though.
Okay. Don't make your pick, but I'll let you lead off with something.
The Patriots are having Malcolm Butler do their little ceremonial thing before the game. It's like, fuck you guys.
That's actually pretty great. I gotta give him credit for that one. That's a good choice for honorary captain or whatever they call it there. On that note, I watched the Patriots very closely last week. Their defense is good. Their offense is horseshit. If the Seahawks can score 14 points, they will win this game. If they don't know how to tackle, which they did well against Denver, they will win this game. Therefore, I'm taking Seattle. Daniel.
Yeah, give me the Seahawks for the same reasons.
I am worried about the first 10 a.m. start for Mike McDonald. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game. It's a toss-up for me right now if the Seahawks win at all. Therefore, I'm going to take the Patriots with the points.
Wow. There you go. All righty. Giants Commies. Who wants to watch this game? Honestly, the punishment for worst record should be having to watch the worst game of the week. The next week.
That's a good punishment.
I actually do like that too.
But you guys tied for 8-8, so we can't do that this week. What's week 3? What's the worst week 3 game? Carolina Vegas, maybe? It might be Carolina Vegas.
Yeah.
New York, Cleveland. Ooh, New York, Cleveland. That's rough.
Green Bay, Tennessee.
Ooh, that's true.
I think New York, Cleveland's worse because you have to watch that fucker Deshaun.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. All right, whoever is the worst record this week has to watch the New York Cleveland game and give a full report on it for the pod right after.
Oh my God, bro.
But anyway, so New York Washington's the worst this week. So yeah, I guess Daniel, you're leading this one off. Washington 1.5 point favorites.
Contrary to everything we've said, I actually think the Giants are going to win this game.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah. I think Jaden Daniels will keep growing though. I have faith in him, but I think the Giants win.
They're going to win because of one man, Dexter Lawrence, with the most insane stat line of like pressure percentage I've ever seen. He was like 50% better than anyone else. Sexy Dexter, baby.
Sexy Dexy. Picking the Giants just for Sexy Dexy, huh? I will say I'm also picking the Giants with the points for the sole reason that the commies cannot fucking beat the Giants. The Giants were horrible last year, and the commies got swept by them. Now, granted, the commies were also horrible last year, so that's not saying a whole lot. But it's like, you're already bad. Don't get swept by the fucking Giants. They had a tie and a loss to them in 2021 or 2022, sorry.
That's when Saquon
They
was like, I didn't know you could tie.
Yeah, right. They did sweep them actually in 2021. So good for them on that, I guess. Um that was last year the Washington football team though, so it's a different thing. Um different thing. So anyways, yeah, I'm taking the Giants with the points as well.
Oh my God.
Chargers, Panthers.
Oh, check your Twitter DMs. You got to see this.
Oh no. Oh no. Can I pull this up on the pod
Yes.
or okay. Here we go. Oh no, I'm almost scared. I'm almost scared.
Here too.
Nothing to be scared about.
Okay, good. Welcome. Is this the thumbnail for the pod next
Come
week?
on.
Did we just find the thumbnail for the pod next week?
I think we did.
Bookmarking that.
This is wild. But one of the
That's-
comments, no longer mad at AB. He's funny as hell and says all the shit most of us are thinking.
How do you get traded from CTSP?
Oh my God.
That's so rough.
And
man.
he had someone make that for him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's so funny, man. I got that. That's gold. That's gold. Um, Chargers Panthers. This is a game that will not be gold. Chargers 5 point favorites at home, or sorry, on the road. Chargers 5 point favorites on the road in Carolina. Rob, you're leading this one off.
Yeah, if the Saints could put 40 on them, Chargers are going to do it too.
Yeah, I agree. I cannot in good faith pick the Panthers right now.
The road to
Daniel can though. I'm just kidding. You said with a straight face they were gonna win last week.
I
And to be
fucking
fair,
did,
I
bro.
almost did the same. I almost did the same. To be fair,
Dude, nah, man. Now it's the road to 0-17.
yeah. There you go.
It's the same vibe as the 08 Lions, man.
Browns, Jaguars. The Jaguars 3 point favorites at home.
All right, what if there's a tie this week for worst? Are we going to have both people watch it?
Oh. No, if there's a tie, we just won't bother. I mean, you guys tied last week. Do you guys both want to watch
I
Giants
really don't
commies?
want to.
I have a Lions game that I gotta watch.
I got a Seahawks game.
Yeah.
It's funny. You guys were all after me last week, and this week I'm the last one watching. So it's funny
Yeah,
how that
early
worked out.
window.
There you go. So anyway, so Browns, Jags. 3 point favorites are the Jaguars. Both these teams coming off losses, but different quality of losses. This is again in very, very sunny Jacksonville, Florida. They are wearing their all whites, forcing the Browns to wear their brown jerseys. Very smart move. For all those reasons, and also I just think they are the better football team. Give me the Jaguars to cover here. Daniel?
Yeah, give me the Jags.
No question here. It's gonna be the Jags.
Vegas, Baltimore. Baltimore at home, 9-point favorites. Both these teams coming off losses last week, but much like the last game, different quality of losses. Daniel, you're leading this off.
Ravens are absolutely smoking this team.
All right, Rob.
9 points is a lot, man.
It is a
In
lot.
the NFL. I'm gonna go Ravens.
I think the Ravens come out pissed and the Raiders come out Antonio Pierce. Rams Cardinals. So there you go. You get to lead off a AFC or NFC West game this week, Dan or Rob. Rams going into the
That is
desert.
absolutely ridiculous that the
Cardinals are
Cardinals are
favored.
favored.
Hey,
Bet the
do you
house.
realize how little the Rams have though? Like
It's the Cardinals against the Rams against McVay. I don't
We
know if
still
the
got
Cardinals have
Stafford to
ever
come,
beat
dude.
McVay. Um,
I'm just saying
bet
the
the
Rams got
house.
beat up.
Bet the house on Arizona or on LA +1. Bet the house.
All right, there you go. I actually agree. I was giving you a hard time. Better
Yeah,
quarterback getting points. That's all I got.
yeah, give me the Rams.
Okay, you guys suck.
What you guys say? It's not a super exciting week from a pick standpoint.
No, not that. That you guys were bashing me for that pick. Both of you.
Wait, what pick?
When I
I
said
was.
when I said bet the house on the Rams, you guys were giving me some blowback.
It was sarcastic blowback, but it was blowback nonetheless. Or not sarcastic. I was trying to see if I could convince you to go cards. Didn't work. Steelers,
Psychology.
Steelers, Broncos. Steelers 2.5-point favorites in Denver in the Mile High City. I'm going Broncos in this one. I think with the points at home, they usually play pretty well at home. Steelers again haven't scored a touchdown yet this year. I don't know if their starting quarterback's going to be quite yet. If it's Fields, if it's Wilson, I don't really think it matters. I think the Broncos win straight up. And I'm getting the points too. So give me the Broncos.
Yeah, I see this as the type of game that Pittsburgh could lose, like the Broncos as well.
The narrative of Russ coming to town is quite tempting.
He's not even
Both
playing though, is he?
He might
either
be. He hasn't. Yeah, he
he's going to
hasn't. He
be on the
hasn't been announced
sideline.
yet.
He's going to be on the sideline.
That's true. Yeah. Either way.
However, I think TJ Watt's going to kill Bo Nix, man. This is going to be bad. Give me the Steelers.
Actually, you know what? Rob might be onto something with that.
Nope, it's locked in, buddy.
You can't
Might be
change
on.
now. It's kind of funny. We all ended up picking our own team last the way this worked out. So that's too bad. But anyways, Bengals Chiefs. Bengals we've talked about. Chiefs coming off a big win and extended rest. 5.5-point favorites. Now I know this is probably gonna seem like an easy call to make. Before I say anything though. Every single Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes game has been decided by 3 points. Every single one. So I'll just say that. Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, I think Chiefs win the game, but I think the Bengals show up at least. I think they'll cover.
I like the Bengals with the points as well. It's Arrowhead. It's going to be tight.
Bro. I agree, actually. I don't know if they win. It'll be tight. But I'm at least I think they at least backdoor cover. 5.5 is too much, I think, for they're going to be up for this game. If you listen to Jamar Chase's press conference this afternoon, the contract's behind him now. He's pissed and he's ready to fuck up the Chiefs. Again, does that mean they win? I don't know. Probably not, but they'll at least cover this. Waiting all day for Sunday night. We got the Bears and the Texans. Texans 6.5-point favorites at home. Rob, you're leading it off.
Give me the Texans.
Yeah, this one's easy for me. The Bears are not good. I'm sorry. I hyped up their offense, but I think the pieces are there. But man, they didn't score an offensive touchdown last week against the Titans. Now, granted, I think the Titans have a better defense than Houston, but they were also at home. Um, yeah, give me the Titan or give me sorry the Texans to cover this one.
The Chicago Bears are the world's biggest paper tiger.
Paper Bear.
Tiger. Oh, yeah, I get it.
They're Bears though, so Paper Bear. But yeah,
Got him. Yeah, give me the Texans.
there you go.
I think
All right.
Texans.
And then last,
We
let's
are
see.
so chalky today.
Yeah, I know. There's not going to be a lot of differences this week. Let count where the differences are even going to come from. So there it is right there. There's one where there's already a difference. Two, three, four, five.
I'm setting myself up to watch the Giants versus the Browns right now.
If it falls apart, you will be for sure. Or I mean, I think me and Daniel have pretty much the same. I think the only differences are Miami Buffalo, which
Tampa Bay,
Daniel
Detroit.
already got right. So, oh no, Tampa Bay,
And
Detroit.
Tampa, Detroit.
Everything else, I think we're the same on. Although we haven't talked about Monday Night Football yet, which I'm leading off. So, about Cardinals or not Cardinals, to a bird team with an A location. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, Falcons going to Philadelphia take on Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, who, again, I might mention, Jalen Hurts was PFF's worst starting quarterback last week. I will also mention Kirk Cousins was not far off, and he's playing a team that he never plays well against in their own house, which is all to say, give me the Eagles to cover this one. I think they win a blowout.
I agree, man. Philly's D line's gonna eat Kirk alive.
Yeah.
Um, they the Eagles now after visiting Christ the Redeemer have the power of God on their side and will beat the Falcons.
There you go. So there you go. So yeah, the differences are mainly coming from Rob this week. So, Rob, you could either fall way behind or you could get right back into it. So that's the takeaway there.
I'm a college football picks merchant.
Yeah. And then me and Daniel, we only have two differences the whole week. So we're gonna be pretty neck and neck even after this week. Um, but I could end up having to watch Browns Giants. So there's something to play for. Which is good because the Bengals are in Monday Night Football in week 3, so I won't miss it. There you go, boys. There's the picks for the week. So we got our CFB picks ready to go.
We have an
Oh, we got
agenda
our
item for CFB
what's that?
realignment.
Oh,
Oh,
we
yeah, that
haven't
got
talked
confirmed.
realignment at all. That's right. Boise State, San Diego State, Fresno State, Colorado State. Welcome to the Pac-12. We're halfway to 12. Two more, and we're they're officially an FBS conference. Who are the two additions? Two new. Who are
I
two
used to be
more? Rob,
Memphis and Tulane.
Memphis and Tulane. I can see that. That'd be good. No UNLV, huh?
That's surprising. I was surprised.
Yeah, Memphis and Tulane make a lot of sense though. Not geographically, but just off of what you're hearing.
Yeah. Um, and then ASU Texas State. That was a fun one. That was a really
Yeah,
fun one.
great game. Great
Texas
game.
State's really going to be in the running for that G5 spot. Like who's deep in the running right now? It's Memphis, Texas State, Boise, maybe
Mhm,
UNLV.
maybe. Hey, there's
They
only
might
one
spoil
three.
some things. They might
There's only
spoil some
one
things.
3-0 team in all of college football right now. It's the Arizona State Sun Devils. Forks up. Yeah, that's right. Forks up. I say as I wear an U of A shirt.
They're
Forks.
matching their win total from last year.
Already.
Yeah.
Less than 3 weeks. They've already done it. Good for them, man. Good for them. Didn't see it coming. But they played good ball too. And they blew out Wyoming, blew out Mississippi State, and
It didn't look great tonight.
no,
Scadaboo, I mean, their O line was getting bullied by
right.
Texas State.
But hey man, could be worse. Could be worse. Um did what
I
they
think
needed
they
to
can
do to
make
pull
some
out the
noise
win.
in the Big 12, man. I'm excited for the Territorial Cup for sure. That's gonna be a fun one.
Yep.
God damn it,
Um
we took Aaron Dumas over Camp Scadaboo. We really did that.
thanks DeBoer. Um,
Although I think if we have Scatterboo for 2 years, that might mean no Dylan Johnson now.
um, all right, boys. Well, that's it. That's it for this edition, this week of the West Coast Draft Podcast. It was a fun week. There's a lot of takes. There's the first Beau's Bengal rant of the year. There will be more. Stay tuned. Um, that was a fun one. Daniel, closing thoughts.
Go Lions, baby.
Yeah.
There you go. Rob, closing thoughts.
If one of us watches the Browns play the Giants, all of us watch the Browns play the Giants. If one of us gets like, all of us get like. If one of us subscribe, all of us subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Drive safe. Oh, wait, no, I'm dropping the ball here.